The last announcement. Every night at exactly 9:17, the loudspeaker in Willow Creek High crackled to life. No one was supposed to be in the building then. The school closed at 4. The alarms were armed, the halls were dark, but the announcement always played. "Attention, students," the voice said, calm and cheerful. "Please return to your classrooms." Evan first heard it when he stayed late to finish a science project. He was alone in the library, the only light coming from his laptop screen, when the speakers popped and hissed. He froze. The voice didn't belong to any teacher he recognized. It sounded old, slightly warped, like a recording that had been copied too many times. "Attendance will be taken shortly." The message ended. Silence returned. Evan laughed it off. Probably a glitch. Old school, old wiring. Still, he packed up fast and left, feeling watched the whole walk home. The next day, he asked the janitor about it. The man's face tightened. "You didn't hear anything," he said quickly. "And you weren't here after dark." That should have been enough to drop it. It wasn't. Evan stayed again the next night. 9:16. He stood in the hallway near the lockers, phone ready to record. At 9:17 on the dot, the lights flickered. The air grew cold. "Attention, students," the speaker said. This time, Evan noticed something new. The voice paused. "Evan Miller," it continued, pronouncing his name perfectly. "You are late." His phone slipped from his hand. "Lock," it continued, pronouncing his name perfectly. "You are late." His phone slipped from his hand. Lockers down the hall began to rattle, one by one, like someone knocking from the inside. Classroom doors creaked open, revealing rows of desks and backpacks sitting neatly on the chairs. Dusty, old, forgotten. Evan ran. As he reached the front doors, they slammed shut on their own. The speakers crackled one last time. "Attendance is mandatory," the voice said, no longer cheerful. "Those who miss roll call are marked absent forever." The lights went out. The next morning, students noticed something strange on the attendance sheet. A new name had appeared at the bottom. Evan Miller, marked present. And his desk, empty for years, had a backpack on it. Still warm. The school tried to pretend nothing was wrong. The principal blamed a clerical error. The new name on the attendance sheet was removed by second period, and teachers were told not to discuss it. By lunch, most students had stopped whispering, except for 3 people who noticed the same thing. Maya Chen sat 2 rows behind Evan's desk. She was the first to see the backpack move. It happened during algebra. The room was silent except for the scratch of pencils when the zipper slowly slid itself shut. Maya stared, heart pounding, as the bag settled back into place like it had just breathed. She didn't tell anyone until Jonah Alvarez and Lila Brooks found her after school. "You saw it too," Jonah said, before she could deny anything. Jonah was on the tech crew, the kind of kid who stayed late fixing microphones and speakers for assemblies. Lila worked in the main office as a student aide. None of them were friends before that day, but fear has a way of rearranging social circles. Lila shut the door behind them. "The intercom logs," she whispered. "There are announcements going out at night. Every single one is logged as manual." Maya frowned. "Manual means someone's pressing the button." Jonah swallowed. Or something. They met again that night, standing across the street from the school at 9:10 p.m. The building loomed dark and quiet, windows reflecting the moon like unblinking eyes. At 9:17, every light inside flicked on at once. The loudspeaker crackled, even from outside. "Attention, students," the voice said. "Please remain calm." Lila grabbed Maya's arm. "That's new." Classroom lights began turning off, one by one, until only a single room on the second floor remained lit. Room 214, Evan's classroom. Jonah raised his phone to record. "Why that room?" the voice answered, softer now, almost patient. "We are preparing new seating." A shadow passed across the lit window. Not a person. Too tall. Too still. The lights snapped off. Across the street, a security guard's flashlight flickered to life. "Hey!" he called. "You kids aren't supposed to be here." The three ran before he could ask questions. The next day, room 214 was locked. By the end of the week, more changes appeared. A new desk showed up in the back of the room. No one remembered it being there. Another name briefly appeared on the attendance sheet before vanishing. Some students swore they heard whispers through the vents during exams, murmuring names that hadn't been spoken out loud. Jonah checked the speaker system after school, hands shaking as he traced wires older than the building itself. "These aren't connected to the main office," he muttered. "They're on their own loop." "Loop to where?" Maya asked. Jonah didn't answer. That night, Maya dreamed of sitting in a classroom that stretched on forever. Desks filled every direction. Some were empty. Some weren't. A voice behind her whispered, "Don't turn around. If you do, they'll mark you." She woke up at 8:18 p.m. to the sound of her phone buzzing. It was Lily and Jonah. Realizing she was going to late, she rushed to get ready. Maya was the first to notice the writing. It appeared on the whiteboard in room 214, sometime between 6th period and the final bell. No one saw it being written. No marker was found. Yet there it was, pressed faintly into the surface, as if the board itself had been bruised. "Madairu, still here?" Maya didn't speak Japanese fluently, but her grandmother had taught her enough to recognize it. Her stomach dropped. "Still here." Jonah noticed something else that afternoon. While testing the speakers in the auditorium, he picked up a low-frequency hum. Too low for the announcements, too steady to be feedback. When he followed the signal, it led him somewhere he'd never been before. Under the school. There was a narrow maintenance stairwell behind the boiler room, sealed with a door that wasn't on any map. It wasn't locked. It waited. Jonah didn't go down alone. He waited for Maya and Layla. The stairs descended farther than they should have. The air smelled like old paper and damp earth. At the bottom was a room lined with wooden placards, each etched with names, some recent, some so old the letters had softened. Not memorials. Records. Lila traced one with her finger. "These aren't dead people," she whispered. "Some of these names transferred, moved away, dropped out." Maya's eyes caught on a symbol carved repeatedly into the wood. A twisted rope looped into a knot, its ends disappearing into themselves. Her grandmother had warned her about that symbol once. "Tsunagi," she'd said. "The binder. A yokai that tied places together. A spirit that kept things from leaving when they were meant to, or let things return when they shouldn't." That night, the announcement came early. 9:14. "Attention, students," the voice said, strained now, layered, like more than one throat was speaking. "Please remain where you are." Maya's phone vibrated. A text. No contact name, no number. Don't listen to it. Her hands shook. "It can't see you if you don't answer." She typed back before she could stop herself. "Evan?" 3 dots appeared, disappeared, appeared again. "I'm not absent, I'm just stuck between classes." At school, lockers slammed shut in unison. The announcement system screeched. Unauthorized communication detected. Jonah's speakers burst into static. Lila's computer in the office rebooted on its own, pulling up an old student database, one that kept refreshing, reorganizing names like seating charts. Maya remembered the placards underground, the not symbol, the rule. Tunaki didn't take people. It assigned them. bound them to routines, to places, to unfinished schedules. And Evan had been marked present. The lights in room 214 flickered on by themselves. Inside, the backpack on Evan's desk shifted, just slightly, like someone adjusting their posture. The announcement voice softened again. "Attendance will resume tomorrow," it said. "Please, be prepared." Maya tightened her grip on her phone, Evan's last message still glowing on the screen.